Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to another video showcasing some of the best talent that you can buy in your FIFA 18 career mode if you're starting in League 2 in England. Now of course some of these players are much more affordable than others, so of course you can't be able to afford everyone on this list. This is just a general idea of some of the players that may be available in yours, because of course, as I've said in the previous videos, a lot of these players change ever so slightly in every single career mode, so I may be able to get some of these players for a certain value here and they might not be available in yours and vice versa. Right, this episode is all about the CDMs, the central defensive midfielders. Now, as you can see, a lot of these players can play other positions as well, but they can all play central defensive midfield. So, we're going to start things off with the top man on our list, and I've been, avoiding this name for a while. Hadziametovic. That's what I'm going for. Hadziametovic. He is a Bosnian player. He can play left midfield, cam, and centre defensive midfielder. And, of course, he is the most, he's very expensive, actually. I wouldn't suggest getting him unless you've got a good player to trade or you've gone with the financial takeover. Then he would be much more affordable then. But apart from that, he is a 65 and goes up to a 78. So he's not the highest potential on our list. But he's still definitely a good player and probably the best player you can get to start off with in your career mode. Next is Mamadou Fofana. Now, we've had him on two previous videos already. He is also a right back and a centre back, but he can play centre defensive midfielder. He starts at a 64 and moves up to a 79. And as you can see there, we can get him on this career mode for between 820,000 and 970,000. Next is Danny Mora. And again, we've had him on our list before as a right back. He plays for the Barcelona B team. We can get him for between 810k and 1 million. And he has a 64 beginning and a 78 potential. So again, a pretty decent player, a bit more affordable than Hadziametovic. Got it. So yeah, pretty good player. And again, if you've got a player to trade, he'll get even cheaper for you. Next is Greg Taylor. Again, a player we've had before on our left back video. He can play left back, left midfield, but he can also play centre defensive midfield. A value of £750,000. Anywhere between 870k to 1.1 million on this playthrough. And he is a 64 start and a 78 potential. Next is Jesus Marimon. He's 600k, but you can get him between 650 and 910. A bit more of an affordable one, this one. He starts at 63 rated, but he does go all the way up to a 79. This is a proof that there is really good value out there. I think this player is really good value for money. Again, if you can trade a player or two, he becomes even cheaper. Next, another player who's been on a couple of our lists already is Ross McCrory from Rangers. He's a centre-back, centre defensive midfielder and right-back. His current value is £625,000, but you can get in between 720,000 and a million. And again, if you've got players to trade, that drops even more. He's a 63 to start off with and goes up to a 79. Next is Eduard Atuesta. I think I pronounced that right. He is an interesting one because you can't get him by general bid. You need to meet his release clause. Now, again, that's quite an expensive one. Whether it's worth doing is up to yourselves. He looks like a pretty good player. You'll have to pay 1.3 million for him. He has a current ability of 63. He does go up to a 78. So again, it might be one, if you've gone financial takeover, definitely worth a punt. If not, then there might be players of a better quality that are a little bit cheaper, including this man right here, Ezri Konsa, one of the players I brought in my Coventry City career mode. We did have him on the centre-back video as well beforehand. He is 420,000 to 720,000. He starts at 62 and has a potential of 81. I played him as centre-back in my career mode, but of course if you've got enough centre-backs, he can easily play that CDM role for you as well. And he's a very, very good player and can progress very, very quickly. Definitely one I would suggest going for. Next up is Amadou Haidara. Again, another player you'd have to meet the release fee for, which is 1.2 million, which isn't too bad. He's a 62 rated at the moment, goes up to 79. It's a risk. Again, it's a bit more expensive than some of the other players you can go for. You can probably get Konsa for half that price, maybe even less if you've got players to trade. So if you've got the money, it's definitely worth a go. If not, then there are better players out that you can possibly go for. But again, he does go up to a 79 rated, so he does have good potential either way. Next is Juan Giraldo. He is is that Ecuador? I think it is. From a club that I've not got to pronounce. Rio Negro Aguilas. I'll settle for that. He's 525k, goes for between 570 and 800k. Potential of 79, starts at 62. Again, a pretty good player. And it just shows you can probably get Konsa and Giraldo for the same cost it would be to buy Haidara. So it's probably worth going for those two. a pretty good player, actually. I'm liking this one. He's pretty new onto the game with some recent updates, so he's definitely worth a look. Next, Alan Campbell from Motherwell, 525k, but you can get him between 540 and 640. He's 62 to start off with and goes all the way up to a 78, so again, a pretty solid player. Not going to set the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination, but a good solid player to help you move through the leagues. Next, now this one's an interesting one. This one's shown as not available, but I know from experience, because I brought Rodney Congolo on my first season in my Coventry City career mode, so you can buy this guy. Value-wise, I'm not 100% sure, but I would say it's going to be around about the 800k to 1 million mark. But again, with traded players, it's going to be quite easy to get a hold of. His wage demands, should I say, are quite low as well. Only £900 at the moment. The most you'll probably pay is probably 1.5k, maybe 2k if you're being pretty nice to him. But yeah, definitely a player worth looking at because I did buy him myself. Just this career mode, for some reason, he's not available. And he has a potential of 79, should I say. And the last player on the list is Ibrahima Sissoko. Now, he's 61 rated at the moment. He does go up to a 78. He's currently valued at £425,000, but according to our scouts, you can get him between £450,000 and £580,000. Again, a pretty good, solid deal. Can play centre midfield as well if you need to push him forward a little bit. Again, only potential of 78. And there are probably better players on the list that you could probably get for a better price, but if you've got the money, you need a bit of extra cover, he's definitely worth a look. My suggestion would be the two players that I brought, Congolo and Konsa. To be honest with you, Konsa is the only person on this list with a potential over 80. Not a lot of the other players over 80 willing to move on this first window. I did scout literally every single central defensive midfielder with a high potential of this age range with the right overall ability at the moment, and these were the only ones that I came back with as available. But as I said in the video before, or earlier in this video, you may be able to get some of the players that I couldn't, and again, some of these players on this list may not be available in your career mode. It does change every single time. But if you do find anyone in your career mode that I wasn't able to buy, then drop them down in the comment section down below, and I will get them added onto a future video. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. We are slowly working through all of the positions. Next up, we're probably going to have central midfielders. It's probably going to be quite similar to this list, but I did this one separately because defensive midfielders have a very specific skill set. More sort of, obviously, tackling and stamina and strength and that sort of stuff, whereas central midfielders are a little bit different, a little bit more box-to-box, but you may face some of the... You might find some of the same players on both lists, but I think it's definitely worth covering all angles. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next video in the playlist, looking at the best young central midfielders you can buy for your FIFA 18 career mode. The 1, 2, 3.